Using the blanket roll or bolster behind the centre of the chest. Either legs straight or knees bent, feet to the floor, and the block behind your head. General breath. Can we allow a sense of the breath deepening? Can we invite the softness of the inhale? Feel we can empty out completely when we breathe out. Feel that when you breathe in, pause at the peak of your inhale for a moment in time that feels right for you. And when you breathe out, you empty out completely, pause at the end of your out breath. Serenaded by the I remember that, the music from next door. Alright, let's bend the knees, feet to the floor, and roll over to the sides, coming off the bolster or blanket. And come back onto your back. So we've got a block hand here, the strap handy. When we come onto the back, just check in, maybe we need another blanket still behind the back of the neck and head. Drawing the chin in and down. So if we don't want to have something so high that we create too much friction, again, keeping the neck in line with the spine. So let's go into the pelvic tilts. So feet are facing forward, about hip width apart, arms facing down. As you breathe in, you're rolling your hip bones towards the heels, creating a little arch in the lower back, like a little teeny tiny Tonka car can go through it. And when you breathe out, rest through your feet and lengthen your sacrum and tailbone towards the heels. Lumbar gently prints into the floor and navel to spine. Keep this movement of your pelvic rolling to unwind into the lower back. So the knees are steady, the feet are hip width apart. The buttocks stay in contact with the mat. And it's almost like a cat curl, but we're on our back. But the difference is when we breathe in, we're rolling the hip bones, we're shining torch lights towards our heels to create the arch in the lower back. It feels comfortable for you. And when you breathe out, you're lengthening tailbone to heels, and the lumbar, the lower back, is imprinting into the floor, and the navel draws to the spine. Keep the steadiness in the knees. Keep the feet gently printing into the floor. So creating a movement pattern in your pelvis and in your hips will help us begin to unwind tension in the lower lumbar. And it will also again set up this connection via the nervous system through the spine all the way up into the brain. And when we're doing our standing poses, we know how we can move our pelvis in relation to our torso. A lot of the time there's a disconnection, and that can be due to posture. Often in women, birth can create an imbalance in our pelvis, and this can not be picked up for many years. So just feel whether one way flows freely or both is flowing, or whether you're just like, oh, I'm not quite sure what's happening. And then come back to that neutral sense of the spine. Let's hug the right thigh into the chest, and if it feels all right, go ahead and straighten the left leg along the floor, or you can keep the knee bent. Interlace behind the back of the knee to create more space for that knee joint. And let's get some movement into the knee. So before we breathe in, we shift the thigh knee away, and then the inhale begins and we extend the heel to the ceiling, toes to front. When you breathe out, bend the knee, relax the heel towards the back of the thigh, and then draw that thigh knee in and down into your chest. To create the space and allow the inhale to float the heel to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, bend the knee, relax the heel, and hug that thigh knee back down into the chest. So we'll stay with this for 2 more times. Don't hurry your breath, enjoy your breath. Something we really want to cultivate. Important for us. And the next time you have your leg to the ceiling, just pause, allow the breath to flow freely, and do slow ankle rotations, and feel when you breathe in, feel when you breathe out, and move your ankle in relation to this. So a lot of you look like you're breathing incredibly fast because your feet are going really fast. So rather than just doing the mechanical movement, let's focus on the breath. The inhale and the exhale. And then slowly turn the ankles in the opposite direction. Keeping the legs to the ceiling. Moving into the ankle joint via the breath. And then hug that knee into the chest and find your strap. You might have to roll off and find it. Could be anywhere. And place the strap. Place the strap around the sole of your foot. Send your heel to the ceiling. Soften your elbows down towards the floor. And we'll start with the circles. The strap's there more as a guide, so the arms really relax down. And we're starting to draw circles. So you're holding on to the straps. And you're drawing circles onto the ceiling. Nice and controlled. Again, slowing it down so you feel when you breathe in. Feel when you breathe out. Start to explore into that hip joint. Feel it, visualize it. You might think, oh, I'm just going to stay here. Or you might go, gosh, it's feeling really juicy today, so I'm going to make the circles a little bit larger maybe. The straps, if you've got a long strap, you might want to lengthen it so the elbows are on the ground and you're really allowing that leg to move in a full 360 degrees. You might go all the way over towards the floor and round to the other side and down towards your heel, or it might be smaller. So keep going in this direction, and then the next time your leg comes all the way back up, pause, and then and as you start to go in the other direction, I want you to now imagine that the ear is not ear, it's kind of like that thick soupy glue. And you want to slowly draw circles using a little bit of resistance. The ear doesn't weigh anything that we're aware of, well, it kind of does, but you can't feel it. But now that it's glue, it takes a bit more work. And to do work, you have to now strengthen into the muscles around and stabilize them into that cut. And then the next time you go all the way around, full 360, this is literally the only ball and socket joint, so we want to maintain that awareness. Bring it back to the ceiling and forwards, and lightly press your right sit bone towards the mat, and feel you can lengthen the right side of your waist by imagining that sit bone is now lengthening to the top of your mat, to that short end of the mat. Now press up into the strap through the ball of your foot as you press your sit bone down. Just check in with that knee joint. Can we have a little bit of softness in the back of the knee? We don't want to lock it. Okay, now let's take the straps in our right hand, left arm out to the side, press into the strap and open the right leg a little bit out to the right, maintaining your left buttock staying into the ground. Now press into the strap, draw the heel towards your head, breathe. To add a bit of resistance, so you're pressing up through the ball of your foot into the strap and drawing down using your hands, drawing the straps down. And now the leg wants to come to the ceiling, but the strap is trying to draw the leg back down to the floor. So remember, we're trying to strengthen and support the muscles inner and outer. Then relax. Now the leg wants to go to the floor, but the straps are trying to draw it to the ceiling. And I want to feel different muscles come into play to do that. Bring the leg all the way back up. And then bend the knee to the side of your rib cage. Draw the knee down towards your armpit. Sole of foot to the ceiling, moving into half happy baby. So imagine I'm lying on the ground. Here we go. So the knees in towards the armpit, sole of foot to the ceiling. And if you can't hold on using the straps, and then you could also use the calf muscle or the back of the thigh. Now we want to make sure the knee is not turning out to the side. That's going to place a lot of unhappiness. So we want to see. half at the baby. This is working deep into the hip crease. Okay. And then hug that right thigh into the chest, release the strap. And then straighten your right leg along the floor, take your arms overhead to a beautiful stretch in each direction. And as you continue to stretch, begin the inhale. And when you feel yourself breathing out, now hug your thigh into the chest, interlace behind the back of the knee, and raise your forehead to the knee and pause with your breath out. Then as you breathe in, straighten the right leg and lengthen in each direction. Pause at the peak of your inhale, pull up further. As you breathe out, interlace behind the back of the knee. Keep breathing out, chin to chest, forehead to knee. Breathe out, empty out, empty out, empty out, and then inhale and begin again. 2 more times. So work to your level, but see what it feels like if you were going to just extend that exhale, pause at the end. And as you breathe in, just kind of feel like you're filling up. You keep on breathing and you're filling up and you kind of pause and you're like, oh, now I'm going to breathe out. And then you breathe out and you keep breathing out and you empty out and you empty out and then you pause at the end and then you begin again one more time. Training the lungs to feel what it's like to really empty out. And then relax the back of the head down, but stay hugging that thigh into the chest. Interlace behind the knee, keep hugging it in, but relax your head down. And then take your right hand on the knee, left arm out to the side. And let's do some hip circles here. So guiding the knee with the hand, and slowly doing the hip circles. Just seeing how this feels compared to when we had the leg to the ceiling and we were doing a straight leg hip circles. Now we might be getting a little bit more juicier into the hip joint. And then slowly go it in the opposite direction. And then when the knee, complete one more circle, when the knee comes all the way back into the centre pause, take your right hand to the outside of your right knee. Now a little bit of resistance, as if that right knee wants to come to the floor, but you're resisting. The hand's going, no, you're not going anywhere, stay there. And relax. Do this one more time, press into the palm, the knee wants to come down to the floor, but the hand's saying, no, you're not. And relax. Now take your palm to the inside of the knee side and gently resist. Press in as if the knee wants to come across your leg, but the hand's saying, no, you're staying where you are. And relax. And one more time, press into the hand, resist, relax, and then hug and place behind the knee to hug that thigh into the chest. And then stretch and lengthen in each direction. Arms over here, lengthen through the legs. Take a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stretch. And then interlace behind the left thigh knee, hug that knee into the chest. Inhale, extend the heel to the ceiling, draw the toes up, press your thigh into the palm. Exhale, relax, bend the knee. Hug the thigh knee and down. And keep going 3 more times. Before we come into the flow, and before we come into the stand pose, we're going to warm into the hip and knee joint. Whether we do it sitting, standing, or on the back. We propose to begin each day before you go into your flow and sunset. The next time you extend that heel to the ceiling, please find our straight. Take it around the sole of the foot. And just relax it because we have to do the ankle rotations now. So really relax the strap because you now need to, with your breath, 3 ankle rotations slowly in each direction. Remember, the ankle joint is not your toes, it's the ankle joint. So see how can we create, if the strap pulls off a little bit, how can we create that movement in the ankle joint? Again, if there's no movement in the ankle joint, then this will affect your knee, which will then affect your hip. Everything's connected. How can we get a full range of movement comfortably in each direction? Just notice, how's this ankle moving compared to my other ankle? Am I just going from side to side, or can I actually do a full range of movement? And then we'll put the strap, and we'll press up into the strap through the ball of the foot. And press the left sit bone down. And we want the left side of your waist to be long. So you want to feel that your left sit bone can lengthen to the top of your mat. And your hip crease can roll down towards the floor and lengthen. Keep pressing up into the strap and then soften the strap because we're going to hip circles here. So your foot's got a beautiful bit of paint on it. And you want to paint a massive circle onto the ceiling. Your massive circle might begin very small, or you might go to town and go, yeah, this is really feeling great. I'm just going to go for the full range of movement here. But remember, now that you are doing this movement, can we still come aware of our breath? Can we at all times give ourselves permission to follow with a sense of comfort and ease our breath in and out? When your leg comes all the way around that up to the ceiling pause, and the air is now really thick and sticky glue. So reverse the direction, and because it's sticky and thick, all those muscles around your hip and onto the leg have to work. And also feel into the pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. These will all subtly come into play. The more deeper we can be in our body, the greater awareness we have. When we go back out into that world called life, how we walk, breathe, and talk, and behave, it's that kind of training ground here. Come back all the way to the ceiling. Straps in your left hand, right arm out to the side. Now open your left leg towards the floor, as long as you can keep your right buttock onto the floor. Open it out to as far as you wish. But if your right hip moves up, you need to bring the leg back. Now press into that strap, make the leg work, press into the strap, and then draw down on the straps at the same time. Try to draw the heel towards the hip. Press into the strap, bring the ball of foot, draw the straps down. Hold that. Breathe. Push the will. And then slowly draw that leg up and interlace behind the back of the knee. Release the strap. As you breathe in, straighten the left leg. You take the strap all the way off so you don't get caught. Straighten the left leg along the floor. Take the arms overhead. Beautiful breath in. And as you breathe out, interlace behind the back of that left knee. Hug that spine into the chest, forehead to neck. Just go straight into it. On an inhale, lengthen in each direction. Pause at the peak. The breath just continues forever. And then when you need to, breathe out. Interlace behind, chin to chest, forehead to neck. Empty out, pause at the end. And then go, yep, now I'm ready to breathe in again. Do this 2 more times. So find your level of where you can sustain an inhale with a pause, and your level where you can breathe out and sustain that out breath to empty out completely. Everybody's going to be different. Building the window of tolerance for our breath. And then you hug that left knee into the chest, relax the head down, right arm out to the side, and the left hand onto the knee. We're going to start guiding and doing the hip rotations to recline, and just really feel into all those muscles. There's still some that we didn't quite access when the leg was straight up to the ceiling. Yoga is not about can we touch our nose to our toes. Yoga is about can we be in our body. Can we be in our body carried by the vehicle of our breath? Can we be in our body carried by the vehicle of our breath and be completely aware of all layers of ourselves? It's a work in progress, believe me. And then circle in the opposite direction. And then let's go into half happy baby. So we're going to bring the knee to the side of the rib cage towards the armpit and see what it's like if it's comfortable to bring the shin and ankle and knee in line, sole of foot to the ceiling. This may be that we're holding on to the hamstring, it may be that we're holding on to the calf or onto the outside of that foot towards the little toe. And also just take note, where do we need to adjust that knee to be happy? Sometimes the sole of the foot doesn't always want to go all the way to the ceiling. Just allow, see what works for you. Ultimately, we're feeling into that hip crease. Lights off, little one. Let's see. Kinder surprise. I'll take a guess. Oh, look. How's that one? All right, and hug both knees into the chest. Plant your feet on the floor. You might need to roll over. We need to find our block here. And take the block between the thighs or the knees. See what's comfortable for you. And take the palms down. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a mind thing because we're squeezing the block. So when we squeeze the block, we're aware that we're strengthening the inner thigh muscles, which then strengthen and support our pelvis and our hips. That's why we use the block. But at the same time, we want to be strong and stable into the outer thigh muscles down the IT band. This is still all to do with finding our stable base and feeling supported in our body. So if you squeeze the block, can we imagine there's a strap around the outside of our legs down that IT band? You kind of imagine you're pressing out into the strap as you squeeze the block. And then relax. Now, still maintaining the squeeze on the block. Press down through your feet, keep your hips level as you raise your arms over your head. Adjust this. If it doesn't feel good, make it more like a cactus arm. And keep the arms there as you breathe out and roll in the spine all the way down. When you feel your buttocks touch the floor, roll the sit bones towards the heels. Arms staying overhead. On the next in-breath, press down through your feet, lift your hips up, keep the hips in line. And then as you breathe out, we're going to bring the arms at the same time. Can we feel we can create a little bit of a coordination between spine, buttocks touching, palms touching? One more time, press down through your feet, use your inhale to lift your hips up. Arms go over the back of the head. The arms stay there, but as you breathe out, the spine is coming down. Keep the arms there, keep the arms over here. Yeah, keep the arms there, and again, breathe in, lift your hips up to the ceiling. And then this time, as we breathe out, can you feel that the arms and the spine are coming all the way down? When you feel your buttocks touch, roll the sit bones towards the heels again. One more time, breathing in, taking the arms over the back of the head. Relaxing the breath, staying in the pose, but relaxing the breath. So staying in the pose, staying in the bridge pose. Maybe adjust the arms, if they don't feel great over here, take them out to the side. Come down at any time, otherwise we'll be up for another 5 breaths, your choice, stay up, come down, whatever works for you. Gently squeezing the block, lengthening through the kneecaps and pressing down through your feet. On the next out breath, when you feel yourself breathing out, coming all the way down, and hug your knees with the block still there into your chest. From here, take your arms out to the side, so your block is still there. Your knees are drawn into your chest. Now, to support the back, the option might be nice to keep your feet on the floor, and when we do a twist, we just take the knees from side to side. If it feels okay, keep the knees where they are. Keep the back of your arms into the floor and the back of your shoulders. Turn your palms up. Now, feel when you're breathing in now. And notice when you breathe out, this begins to twist to the right. And just go until you feel you can maintain shoulders and arms in the ground. And when you feel yourself breathing in, the in-breath lifts the knees towards the ceiling. When you feel yourself breathing out, you take the knees to the left, turn the head to look to your right palm. When you breathe in, the eyes look into the ceiling. When you breathe out, the eyes are looking to the left. Your knees are going to your right. Keep going 2 more times. So we just go over, we take the knees over by maintaining the shoulders and arms into the ground. If your arms lift up, you probably need to have gone too far over towards the floor. So even it up on each side, creating rotation into the rib cage. I don't want you to feel this in your lower back. That's why we want to keep the arms on the floor. And then hug the knees into the chest. Remove your bottom now, all good to go. Roll over to the side. And then coming up onto the hands and the knees. So what happens is when we do the twist, when we go to one side, if the arm or shoulders lifted up, that means that we're not using the rib cage to move, we're using the lower back. So it doesn't matter how far you take your knees, this is where the movement is coming. So that you know. Because I want you to know everything. And one day you're going to be your own teacher. All right. I do pain features for a while, by the way, just in case. All right, take the hands underneath the shoulders. Take the knees underneath the hips. We will need to have 2 blocks handy, by the way, because as we know, the world is a little bit topsy-turvy, so we need to make our balance topsy-turvy to get used to it. Spread your fingers wide. This is your stable base. Head underneath the knees if you need to. It will help. Now start to, without moving the spine, to start to lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Now press your face away from the floor, like doggy doo-doo on the mat, this pose, or press your face away from the floor so you're making a double chin. Now that's going to strengthen your neck muscles. Draw your palms back towards you. This is going to strengthen your arms and shoulders. Now feel with your shoulder blades. As you feel your shoulder blades, slide your shoulder blades down the back. You should feel the shoulders are moving away from the head. So now you've got more space into the head. We're still not moving the spine, we're just creating a lot of strength here. Hug the sides of your waist in, without moving the spine, and then keep lengthening your tailbone back. So this is where we come back to each time. Now, feel yourself breathe in, draw your sternum forward, take the gaze forward, maybe looking up or look straight ahead. When you breathe out, chin to chest, curling under, press the floor away, draw the pelvic floor up. Inhale, tailbone lengthens to lengthen low back. Palms draw back towards you, broaden the collarbones. As you breathe out, curling under, press the floor away, chin to chest, draw up from the pelvic floor. Keep moving from the sense of strength and stability and support through the awareness now of the spine flow freely. Everything else around it supported. Feel the flow of your breath. Your breath will be different to everybody else's. You flow with the rhythm of your breath. And then when we come back to the hands and the knees, let's find our blocks. Now, you might want to put a blanket underneath, but if your knee isn't feeling happy to see how you go, you may just want to stay hands and knees. So we're going to take the left palm onto the block, and we're going to put the right knee on the block. We need to line our knees up, okay? Knees do need to be in line, and wrist creases need to be in line. Just change a bit of gravity here. All right, curl your left toes under and press back into the heel. Press your right palm into the mat, so press away from the mat, press your face away. You might just want to stay here. This could be enough. Or see what it's like for you to raise your left leg at button height. Press the floor away. Now, see what it's like for you to bring your right arm by the ear. So lengthen forward as you press back through the heel. Press your face away from the floor. And see what it's like for you to lift your right foot off the mat. Now, any change, time change, and take anything else back down. Now breathe. Breathe, and then slowly come back down, and then come back and swap over. And let's just see what the other side of the brain feels like when we change it up. So right hand on block, left knee on block, line your kneecaps up, line your wrist creases up. Right, now you're curling your right toes under, press back into a heel, press away from the floor, press away from the block. Then raise your right leg up. Bring your left arm by the ear, or maybe just keep the whole lot on the ground. And maybe lift the left foot off the ground. Focus on your out breath. Then slowly come back down. Take the blocks away. And this one will just be like pushing through here. Okay, left arm and right leg. On the inhale, left arm and right leg. So we take away gravity, we're like, oh wow, it's okay. Breathing out, coming down. To the other side, keep the hips level and not moving. Breathing in, right arm, left leg. Breathing out to plant down. Do one more time on each side. Keep your hips level. Just feel you can coordinate and have that strength through the whole spine. Thigh, core, pelvic floor. Yeah. Beautiful. Then come back to your version of pose for child. Whether it's buttocks to heel, pull to the floor, whether we're using a block, and maybe a blanket to support and open the kneecap. staying in your version of opposite child, taking the awareness of your breath into your forehead. And imagine that when we breathe in, we're going to breathe into the space of our forehead, kind of like opening the windows of our mind and letting all those cobwebs out. And when we breathe out, we're releasing that breath from the forehead back down into the amazing earth, which pretty much can hold a lot of stuff. Giving yourself permission to declutter your mind by your breath. A few more breaths here. And then float up to the hands and the knees. Taking a breath in, breathing out, do another cat curl. Going to breathe into the hands and the knees. We're going to go back to opposite child when we breathe out, pressing back into opposite child on the out breath. We're going to come up onto the knees when we breathe in now. Keep the arms by the ears, coming up onto the knees. And when we breathe out, keep the arms by the ears, slowly coming back down into opposite child. We're going to float forward to hands and knees on the inhale to look forward. We're going to breathe out into a cat curl. Float to the hands and the knees as we breathe in. And breathe out, come back to opposite child. This time we're coming up onto the knees when we breathe in. Come high to the knees, keep the arms by the ears. And stay here as you breathe out, bring the hands into the center of the chest. Relax the breath, take the arms out to the side. I'll just move from my whack the board. Staying here, the rotation into the rib cage. So we're going to take a breath in and to the right as we breathe out, keeping the arms at shoulder height, turning the eyes to look to the hand behind us. When we breathe in, we're going to come back to the center. So we're moving from the rib cage. When we breathe out, we're going to rotate to the left, looking with the eyes. Inhale, eyes come to the center. Exhale to the right, arms stay where they are. Inhale to the center, freeing up that movement into the upper back. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center and relax the arms down. This time, take your arms by the ears, turn your palms forward and come back into extended posture child. Float up to the hands and the knees, and then we're going to curl the toes under. We're going to come up and press back into down dog. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a walking down dog. So the toes stay in place. Just bend one knee into the chest and press the opposite heel down. And then swap over. Bend that opposite knee into the chest, press that opposite heel down. Staying here. Opening into the back of the knees. Pressing the floor away. A little bit of inversion to head low in the heart. And then bend both knees into your chest. Press the floor away. Lift the sit bones up to the ceiling. Relax the ears between the arms, and then soften the heels towards the floor. Coming to the top of the back now, and then bend the knees and walk all the way up. Feet face forward, press through your feet, dive your arms wide and high, coming all the way up. Bring the palms into the center of the chest. Staying here for a few breaths. Take a gaze where it's comfortable. And just feel again your feet. Feel that support of your feet. Your toes, every single toe. Feeling the tips of them. Lift your toes up now, and then spread and plant them down. Lift up through the heels off the mat, and plant the heels back down. Now find that support of your weight, forward, back, come to that center, lift up through the arches of your feet. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel that your tailbone lengthens down. And the shoulder blades slide down. Draw the chin slightly in and back. Soften the upper palate of your mouth back, the roof of your mouth. From here, we inhale, we dive the arms wide and high, and gaze where it feels right for you. As we breathe out, we bend the knees, hinge from the hips, hands to the shins. Breathing into a half lift. Breathing out, bend the knees, sit back, kneecaps face forward, all the way up. Exhale into the center of the chest. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, dive the arms wide and high, gaze where it feels comfortable. Breathing out, come to a forward fold, hands to the shins. Inhale to a half lift. Breathing out, bend the knees, and then breathe in. Press through your feet to lift you up. Breathing out, hands into the chest. Breathing in, dive your arms wide and high. As you breathe out, come to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale to sit back into an imaginary chair. Press for your feet to come all the way up. And breathing out into the center of the chest, relaxing the breath. From here, interlace the fingers, keep the feet on the ground, bring your arms by the ears. Coming over to your right, press out through your palms, and then press for your feet to breathe in to come up. And breathing out, come over to your left. Press for your feet to come up. One more time on each side. So the out breath guides us over, opening into the side of the body. Press for your feet to lift up. Other side to complete, pressing out through the palms. Inhale, coming all the way up. Relaxing the arms, diving out wide and onto the hips. Bend the left knee and step your right leg back. So we're heel to heel and the back toes are turned in. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. So your hips are on like a little bit of an angle. And then we take the arms out to the side and we soften the shoulders down. So just checking your kneecaps over your second and third toe. And that we're not leaning back or shifting the weight forward. So feel your tailbone and your spine and crown of head can come into a sense of line. Then open the palms up to the ceiling, lengthen through the fingers, and roll the palms down. So from the shoulder joint, we're doing external rotation, opening up, from the shoulder joint, internal. We'll do that one more time, just creating that movement into the shoulders. And take the back hand onto the hip, front forearm onto the side, but turn your palm to face up. From here, press into that back heel, then open chest and ribcage out up to the ceiling. You can stay here, or we can raise the arm up. Soften the shoulder blade down the back. Stay here or bring the arm over the ear in a straight line. So we'll lengthen through the top fingers, press into the back heel. Remember that hand can be on the hip the whole time. Now if we want to feel feisty and we're happy with our balance and knees and backs and everything, maybe you might want to try bringing your bottom arm up. That creates a lot of load onto your low back. So really check in on this one. Press for your front foot, come all the way up, come back into warrior two. Take your hands down onto the hips. We're going to pick the back foot up with the kneecap facing forwards on the ball of our foot. So this is a bit of balance as well. Shift your back foot in so you're on your toes. Hips stay even. Shift your body weight forward, raise that back leg up to where it's comfortable. It might not feel comfortable. You might want to stay with it foot on the floor for a balance. So just find that ease. Keep the hands on the hips. If the back feels super duper happy, maybe bring the arms behind you. And only if your back and spine and everything feels amazing, maybe, because it adds more load, bring your arms forward. So we just want to, layer it to see what feels right. Come all the way up. And then relax the arms out and down. Take your hands onto your knees. Get the knees together. And to strengthen the knees, we're just circling the knees. So hands are supporting the kneecaps and we're circling them. This would have been a good pre-ski thing for you. And then circle the other way. This also helps to strengthen into the ankle joints. Something that's also very good. If you do a lot of sitting, really strengthen the ankles and knee joints as well. All right, and then come all the way up and we'll go to the other side. So we've got the right foot facing forward. We take the left leg back, so it's heel to heel, back toes are turned in. Really press into that back heel and then take the arms out to the side and gaze over that front hand. And just check, sometimes that knee might feel like it's coming in a little bit. Over second, third toe, feel spine, tailbone, crown of head. And then from the shoulder joint, we do external rolling up and then internal. We'll do it a couple of times, just again strengthening into the shoulders and into the arms, rolling up and then coming down. And then we'll take the back hand onto the hip, front forearm onto the side, but turn your palm up and then open chest and ribcage out onto the ceiling. We can say here, this is really good. Maybe take the arm up, see what that feels like for the shoulder. And just check in if it feels right, palm down and arm over the ear possibly. Again, checking in for spine and balance of knees maybe if we want to add more load, don't have to, maybe bring the arm up. Just a suggestion, but see how it goes. Press your foot to come up, come back into warrior two. Hands onto your hips. So I'm going to pick that back foot up and face forward, and then bring the leg in, so on the ball of the foot, the top of your foot. Shift your weight forward, soften that front knee. This could be your balance here, or maybe lift the leg up, just where you can maintain the hips even. Maybe take the hands back, soften that knee, hips even, and maybe, if we're happy to add more load, bring the arms forward. And then coming up, bring the arms up, and relax the arms out. Then we'll support those knees. Again, feet together, knees together, and really press down the circle. Often, it's the ankles that may not be very strong in the way that we're walking, and this all affects the knees in the other way. When we do the standing poses, that foundation of strength and stability, our home base, all needs to be fixed. All right, and then let's come into another balance pose. But first of all, let's release. So my baby way of opening my legs before I come into a balance. Let's take our right toes onto the block, heel on the ground, and bring your left foot to where you can breathe. Because that's the key. Because sometimes we're like, oh. Okay, now feel crown of head, spine, tailbone in line. Where we really need to access that awareness. Because the back of your calf and the knees probably going, wow. So go really easy if you've got a knee thing happening. But this again, we have to think about if we've got tightness and no movement into the back of the calf and the back of the hamstring, all the muscles that wrap around the knee, then opening this up every day is a motion. Have it by your bench, like doing stuff. Just think of bringing the yoga with the awareness at home. I love you. Do it at home. Okay, and then release. And then the leg will shake it out. Let's just see what it's like. Because as we know, sometimes we go into our poses, like pose of child, we're really tight through here, so the top of the feet can't go flat. So we take the toes onto the ground and lengthen up. Just notice if your foot's going off in one angle, and then try to drag that foot forward as you lengthen up. And you want to be feeling a little bit of opening between the top of your feet, yeah? And then drag at the same time. And then relax. Beautiful feet, we need to look after them to keep us upright as well. Right, let's go to the other side and see what's happening here. Straight away, you'll probably notice one side quite different to the other. And yeah. When you go through your car dryers, always pack a block and strap, especially like 6, 7 hour car dry. Get out, get your strap on. People will think you're crazy, but you'll feel good. All right. So come off. Let's just see what it's like up through here on this foot. So take the top of your foot and then lengthen up as you try to drag that foot forward. So really feel you're trying to, it's like super glue, but you're trying to drag it forward as you lengthen up. You should feel all the stuff happening now. Shake it out. Okay, so either stay on the ground and don't change gravity, especially for me or the hips like, or find a wall, or find a block. So your choice. Kind of feel, how do I feel today? Do I feel like I'm going to be like this? Stay on the ground. I'm feeling feisty, come on the block. Okay, so still doing a balance whether you're on the ground, whether you're against a wall, because the idea of balance is for you to stay present with your breath and connected to all sorts at the same time. This is just a physical body. We've got to also be aware of what's going on here. Keep your hips level. So your foot that's not on the block, you're kind of having it just above the floor. Now your foot that's on the block and that leg, I want you to feel that you're activating this muscle and kind of feel it's lifting up to strengthen it. Now from here, soften that supporting knee, find your focus point, drishti, this is your gaze. And then from your hip crease, draw that thigh and knee forward. Without moving your body forward, find the knee and then hug the thigh into the chest. And then from there, stay with the hands supporting the hip, or maybe take your arm by the ear. So that's another option. Turn your palm to face forward. Stay here, or send that front foot back and take hold of it. Lengthen from that top hip down the thigh and out through the knee as you press that foot back. Lengthen your tailbone down. Soften your shoulder blade down the back. Stay here. Another option. Hinge from the hips. Keep the arm by the ear. Coming back. And relax. Release. And get the legs shake out. And then just circle to release with that. With it standing on one foot and on one side of your pelvis. Now we need to relax. And then just circle the other way. And if standing on one leg just is not right, don't. Come off after a few breaths. Let's go to the other side, either on the ground or on the block. Find a wall space, go to the other side. Just see what it's like on this side. So keep the hips level. And then from here, feel that you're switching the side, lifting it up. And then draw that thigh knee up. And without moving forward to draw it up, keep the spine long, draw it up. Bring the arm by the ear or keep it by the hips. Stay here or maybe send that thigh back, taking hold of the foot. Lengthen the kneecap down, top of the thigh lengthen down, palm turns down, press into that hand. Stay here or maybe as you're doing it, hinge forward a little, press back into that hand. Coming back upright, wherever you are, coming out, releasing back down. Do a few for the hoops, should the music going out. And then in the opposite direction. All good. All right, let's come on down to the floor, but we'll come to the top of the mat and float down into the half sun salute. So bring the palms into the hands and through the awareness of the breath on the inhale, sweep the arms wide and high. Feel when you breathe out to come to a forward fold, hands to shins. Feel the inhale lift you up to a half lift. And as you breathe out all the way down, bend in the knees, forward fold to where it's right for you. Stay here, relaxing the breath, lengthening to the crown of the head. And then stepping the right leg back, and then your left leg back, press back into pose of child, and then come down to the hands and the knees. Press back to pose of child. Soften the breath. And then come forward and onto your stomach. So from here, bring the hands either side of the chest under the shoulders or to where they feel right for you. Draw your elbows into the sides of the rib cage and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Now I want you to press through the top of your feet into the mat. Press your pubic bone down, which will lengthen your lower back. So we're going to breathe into the low cobra. Draw your palms back towards you, drawing your chest forward. And on an out breath, slowly coming down. We'll do it one more time when you breathe into the low cobra, draw your palms back towards you. When you breathe out, slowly coming down. Just going to add on to that. Breathe into a low cobra. Breathing out, bend the left knee. Pause here on the inhale. Breathing out, lower all the way down. So breathing into a low cobra. Breathing out, bend the right knee. Pause as you breathe in. And breathing out, lower down. Breathing into the low cobra. Both knees as you breathe out, bend the knees. Pause to breathe in. And breathing out, lower down. Breathing into a low cobra. The out breath, bend both knees. Forwards to breathe in. Breathing out to lower. And just resting here. Take the elbows out to the side. Rest your shoulders on. Just rocking the hips from side to side. And slowly roll over onto one side. We did this a couple of weeks ago. The balance pose where we come down and we rest the head into the hands and the shoulders are in line. I'm going to straighten that right leg and really dig into that little toe side into that foot. And then we're going to draw your toes up towards your head and raise that top leg. You're going to hold it there and either keep the hand there or maybe take the hand onto the leg. The idea is to relatively stay upright. Dig into that foot. Stay here for a few more breaths. And slowly lower the leg down, lower the hand down, roll onto the tummy, and maybe swivel around. And we're going to the other side. So really dig into that little toe side into the mat. And then raise that top leg up. And take the hand to the top leg or keep the hand onto the floor. Staying onto the side. Maintaining connection to your breath, flexing your foot, drawing your toes up towards your head. And then slowly lower the leg down. And then come onto your back. Have a block handy. Yep. So reclining twist first of all. So legs straight, arms out to the side. At shoulder height comfortably for your palms up. Bend the right leg and take the sole of the right foot onto your left thigh. And take your left hand on top of your right knee. You're going to lift the left buttock up, tuck it under, bring the right knee towards the floor as we turn the gaze from over to our right hand. Now it might be quite nice to place a bolster or a block underneath that knee to hold and support it there. So finding what support you need in the reclining twist. So your right knee is coming across your body down towards the left, and your left hand is on top of your right knee or thigh. We're placing anything underneath it that might support it. And we want to keep the right arm out to the side at shoulder height, but keep the back of the arm into the floor. You're gently looking, I see some people moving to the side. We're looking to the opposite side that your knee is. And you keep closing the eyes. Beginning to follow the awareness of your breath up and down both sides of your nostrils. Maintaining your awareness of your breath from the base of your nostrils as you breathe in, drawing your breath up both sides of the nostrils, merging the space between the eyebrows, and as you breathe out, floating the breath out and down both sides of the nostrils. And slowly coming over onto your back, straightening the legs out, straightening your body in a straight line. And then drawing your left thigh into the chest, placing your left foot on top of your right thigh. Bring your right hand to the left knee and tuck that right hip under as you come up. Bring the left knee over towards the floor and turn to look to your outstretched left arm. Remember, place whatever support, bolsters, blocks underneath that left knee. And feel we can soften the back of the right arm and shoulder into the floor. From here, draw awareness into your breath in both sides of your nostrils. Feeling into a sense of ease and your breath. You feel that you're sitting behind your breath, observing it, allowing the breath to breathe you. And slowly come back onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And then finding either a bolster or a block, we're going to place the block or bolster, whatever feels best, underneath the buttocks. Take the legs to the ceiling. So more of a lift is the bolster. If you don't want to use the bolster, you can just use the block under your sacrum. Draw the knees and feet together, take the legs to the ceiling, and sink the weight of your hips and buttocks into either bolster or block. Allow the legs to be comfortably together, or if they feel better to be a bit apart, that's fine too. Take the arms wherever it provides you support. And if comfortable, perhaps close the eyes. And taking the awareness of your breath, moving into the Ujjayi breath, as I describe and talk it through, unless you're comfortable, go straight into it. This is where we draw the breath through the base of the throat to a point at the back, imagine. Breathe out at this point, out at the base of our throat. It's a very soft breath, it's very subtle. And we're using this breath for, first of all, physiologically, it sets up a response to nervous system, to lower blood pressure, to slow heart rate, and to allow us to go into rest and digest, parasympathetic. In a yogic energetic viewpoint, we are drawing awareness through the base of our throat. This is the doorway, the gateway between the heart space and the intuitive space, where we learn to be aware and guide how we speak and how we listen. We can gain greater access to the awareness and connection of self and self. Either way, it's a win-win. So another little toolkit to practice over the next few weeks. This is a great pose and breath combined to use at night time to help facilitate going towards the sleep state. Doing a few cat cows, if you move the spine, legs up the wall, Ujjayi breath. 5 minutes is all it will take. So keep the connection of the breath in and out of the base of the throat. And then count backwards from 12 breaths using the Ujjayi breath. If the legs feel heavy, you can also bend the legs into your chest, but still have that support of your hips and thumbs being lifted. When you finish your breaths, then bend the knees towards your chest, place your feet comfortably onto the floor, and lift your buttocks so you remove the bolster or block. Tuck your knees into the chest, hands on the knees, circling the knees. Make sure you go in the other direction as well. From here, we find sweatshirts and blankets, props, to set ourselves up into whatever position of relaxation, whether we're sitting, lying on our tummies, lying on our side. Any way that you can allow the next few minutes of practice to be integrated. Press the button. Grab an extra blanket if you need to. when you're comfortable, by the way, I will bring up the eye pillows next term. I think I'm just going to sell them on to you. So I don't know. $10 an eye pillow. If you want one, I'll bring them. That way, we can just have a little collection. We can start our own collection. All right. Get yourself very comfortable. Support your back against the next line side. You see what it feels like. We have the legs a little bit apart. That give us more space in our lower back. It feel better to have the legs together. Same with our arms. If we have the palms facing up, does that feel more of an opening into the chest? Or does it feel better to have the palms down? And when you're in your version of Shavasana, what else can you do to be 5% more comfortable? Make the adjustments, and then once comfortable, come into a sense of stillness in your physical body. We use the poses, the asanas, to shift and move and create space, to have strength and support. And then we use Shavasana to integrate so we can connect through the stillness of our physical body and invite the awareness of breath and mind to draw our senses, come into an awareness of a point of concentration when we watch the face of our mind. Feel your body upon the floor, whatever position you're in. See what it feels like to allow a sense of heaviness into the body, knowing that the jaw and your props have you in support. Letting everything go, giving yourself permission to feel space, where you can go. And take that awareness of the heaviness of support downward, releasing, letting go. Now inviting lightness into creating a sense of lightness with each inhale and exhale. Back to a natural breath in the nostrils. Feeling the breath here. Noticing now the sounds outside the room. You're aware of the sound, following them. On the outside sounds, come closer into this room. Into the awareness of the body, the space that your body occupies on the mat. And into the awareness of the breath again. And placing your breath into the eyebrow center. This is the space between the eyebrows. So as you breathe in, feel your direction of breath into the eyebrow center. Center of the foot. Breathing out from this place out to the eyebrow center. Continue to feel, to follow, observe the breath. Creating a feeling of a soothing, smooth breath being drawn in and out of the eyebrow center. Time you breathe in through the eyebrow center, you create whatever sense of space, clarity, softness within the mind. Breathing out what no longer serves within the concept of what's healing. And from the eyebrow center, direct your breath now down into your abdomen, around the belly button. Feel that you're drawing your breath through the belly button, the spine behind. Breathing out at this point out of the belly button. Feel it, following the breath here. Feeling out the breath there. Bring your awareness of the breath to the center of the chest. And direct the breath through the center of the chest to the spine behind. As you breathe out of this point out to the center of the chest. Keep guiding and directing your breath as you inhale through the center of the chest to a point in the spine behind. And breathing out from this point out to the center of the chest. Moving out your awareness of your breath in the center of the chest and come back to the breath in the nostril. Noticing the natural flow of the breath up and down both sides of the nostril. Now, letting go of your awareness of your breath in the nostrils, your awareness for a few moments into the space behind your closed eyes. The space behind. Here we sit as the witness, facing forward to the infinite expanse that is our mind. Into this space, we welcome everything in. Witness unattached, involved. Coming back to the awareness of the breath in the nostril. The breath. Down breath to breathe us. We're sitting behind the breath. Feeling of the bones. Feel the bones of your body, your whole skeleton. Become aware of its strength and density and support your body to your bones. Feel your feet, your leg bones, hips and pelvis, spine and shoulder blades, shoulders, arm bones, hand bones. Feel the skeleton, cranial bone. And then go outward, feel the muscle, tendons and ligaments. Feel your skin, feel the air on your skin now. Feel into your whole physical presence, your shape, your form, your structure, and the space that your body occupies. Become aware of the windows, doors. And from this place, if we're on our back, stretch your arms overhead, from fingertips to toes, each direction. Roll on to any side that feels right. Coming up to the upright position, the eyes gently closed. Arms into the heart space, lightly down chin to chest. Feel that connection of your left arm and your right, your left hand and your right hand, from the left side of your body to the right side of your body. Feel the union of your whole body. So yoga means to yoke, which is union, to join, as one. Through your practice today, take the sense of union in your body out into your life. Take the connection of your breath and your awareness of how, what, and why you're thinking, and choose wisely through the awareness of what you speak. From this place, from my heart, I thank you. Blessed be. And yeah, repeat everything for the next 2 weeks for our break. So we'll be back in 3 weeks' time.